Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Courtside. I'm Blair Cartwright, along with Tom Collen. And Coach, kind of a tough week last week. 2 losses, tough losses, but your team battled hard.
Well, it was a tough week, and it's kind of life in the SEC. We've talked about that, known that for quite a while, ever since we made the move. So, it's a little frustrating, a little bit disappointing. I think probably in particular maybe the loss with Ole Miss at home. It's always painful when you lose at home. The road loss to Vandy was a hard-fought game to a pretty good basketball team, but. Life as a college coach, life in college athletics in general, part of the lifelong lessons that you learn is bouncing back. So we got to find a way to do that, and we just kind of got to go from there.
All right, let's take our 3 keys from last week. First off, Sara Ricketts, career high 29 points at Vanderbilt, scored 12 against Ole Miss, starting to pick up the pace a little bit.
Well, I think Sierra's just grown up as a player. She's maturing. They took Lindsey Harris pretty much out of her game up there, and they gave us Sierra off the dribble drive, and she took advantage of that, and she held a good game. And I know she was felt good about the way that she played, but she was disappointed about the loss, and that's a good learning step as well, that you can score 29 points and still be a little frustrated, with your team or with the road loss. And so she's just getting better and better as the year goes on. She's getting steadier and steadier all the time, and I'm optimistic that we're going to see a pretty top-notch Sara Ricketts for the rest of her career.
Speaking of getting better, our key number 2, Sara Watkins, 9 points against Vanderbilt, 3 rebounds, kind of an off night for her, but then 21 and 4 against Ole Miss.
It's just steady, she's a sophomore. I don't think she's going to have that sophomore slump that a lot of kids have. We knew that she was a talented young lady when we signed her, and she's just becoming really steady. I think we're finding that now that she's become as steady as she is, we just need to keep feeding her the basketball, and if we feed it to her, good things are going to happen. So really excited about her and glad she's only a sophomore for us.
And our third key, Ashley Daniels, 10 points, 4 rebounds against Vanderbilt, 12 points, 7 rebounds against Ole Miss.
Just a bounce back for her. People talk all the time about the big 3 with Sierra, Lindsey, and Sara Watkins, but the bottom line is when we're playing at our best, we're getting scoring from other areas. Kara Peak and Ashley Daniels in particular. She's always been one of the best rebounders in the league, but when we get her the ball a little bit and we get her to finish in the lane and do some good things, she's our best post defender without question. Then I think this team rises to another level. So it's good to see her back. We just got to keep the effort there. I tell her all the time, she gets mad at me. She leads us in rebounding every night. She's ranked in the top 10, but I keep telling her I need more rebounds. 7's not good enough. I got to have 10. And so I think she's working her way back to that challenge, and I think you're going to see her break out and start getting double digits in rebounding again.
All right, we need to take a timeout. More Courtside after this.
Kids can now be a part of the Razorback experience by joining the Junior Razorbacks Club. All Junior Razorbacks will receive a T-shirt, membership card, quarterly newsletter, discounts at Hog Heaven, tickets to select Razorback events, special post-game activities, and much more. The membership cost is just $40 and $25 for each additional child. Membership forms are available online at ArkansasRazorbacks.com. Join today.
Welcome back. One of the neat things last Sunday at the game was Christy Smith, Dave. Chance to see the former Razorback here. First time in a long time, and she looks great. Looks like she could still play.
She does a pretty good job. I would have liked to roll her out there. She probably would have given us a little bit of energy as the game went on. But she does. She looks great. She's coaching at Valparaiso University now. For some of you that might not realize that, and it was just so good to see her again. I see her a little bit out on the road in recruiting, and I see her at the Final Four every year. But I know that it was probably a really special thing for our fans to be able to see her and to know where she's at in her life and what she's doing. And it was a great opportunity for us to bring her back and honor her. And she's just a special kid. She talked to our kids in the pregame meal and talked to them a little bit about her history and being in the Final Four. And I think that's really good for our team to realize where we've been and who those people are. So special kid. We'll remember her forever and ever.
And we had a chance to talk to her at halftime of that game. It's been a long time. It's great to have you back, Christie Smith, one of the all-time greats in Arkansas Razorback history. And what are you up to now?
I am just trying to keep my life together. I've got 3 little kids, 4, 6, and 8, and they are a handful, but they are awesome, and they're a blast. And coaching basketball at Valparaiso University, which I really enjoy. So.
I remember when you were here, you always maintained you'd never be a coach. What made you change your mind?
It's the curse of Coach Blair. He used to always bring me in his office and go, Christy, you're going to be coaching here one day. And I'd always tell them that I wasn't, that I couldn't put up with kids like me. And once I was away from it for a while, I realized how much I loved it. And, being back in coaching and being in college coaching, it's what I want to do. It's what I love. So.
How's it feel to be back? Because you haven't been back very often. What was it like to walk out on that floor again?
It was very nice, but I think I've hit the point where I know that there is no returning to playing basketball for me because my body just falls apart. And so it was just great to see a lot of people that I haven't seen for a long time, and coming back here, it's always wonderful.
I guess it's kind of goes without saying, but the Final Four, probably your best memory of your time here at Arkansas?
Oh, definitely. The friendships and the people you meet and the relationships that you build are definitely, one of the best parts of it. But the best memory was without a doubt going to the Final Four. How much fun was it over your entire career here at Arkansas? Do you think about it often? Of course, because it was a big part of my life. And it was definitely a privilege to be an Arkansas Razorback and to be able to play here for 4 years. And like I said, it's a lot of it. It's about the people that you're around and that you meet. Well, don't let it be so long before you come back next time. I know. And hopefully next time I bring my kids, and so they think that maybe I actually did something with my life. But I'll bring them and let them run around the court a little bit, take some pictures.
You've got mail.
This week's question comes from Stella in Little Rock. Any surprises in the SEC to this point?
I can't say that there have been a lot of surprises. I think the league is always really, really well balanced. Probably going into last weekend, Arkansas might have been the biggest surprise because I think we've probably achieved a little bit higher level than what a lot of people have thought. Auburn certainly took some hits, and right now I think they're sitting there with maybe 1 or 2 losses, so they're still up there near the top of the conference. But for the most part, Tennessee, they're who they are, and the juggernauts that have always been there in the NCAA tournament for the last 10 to 12 years, the Georgias and the Vanderbilts, they're still up near the top. Kentucky's faltered a little bit, but they've kind of bounced back. So, it's just a tough conference from top to bottom, and so not a lot of surprises so far.
All right, thanks for the question, Stella.
Submit your question on the Courtside page under women's basketball at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
A lot of universities talk about their personalized approach and unwavering commitment to each and every student. We, however, engrave ours in stone. University of Arkansas, the U of A.
Time to look at what's coming up now for the Razorbacks. Thursday night, go down to Baton Rouge to face the Tigers. What do we know about LSU this year?
Well, we know that they always play good defense, and nothing has changed in that regard. They're leading the SEC in defense once again, and so they're always hard to score on. They play a gap-style defense. They don't give you a lot of layups. They don't give you transition baskets, and they don't give you a lot of offensive rebounds. That's their style. And so the bottom line is you just got to step up and you got to make shots on them. You got to execute. I think you have to be somewhat patient against them, and we've talked with our kids about that. And I think, as our kids mature, I think they're a little bit more apt to be patient. I thought one of the positive things about our Ole Miss game, quite frankly, even though it was a loss, was that I thought we were really patient on the offensive end, and we shot a high percentage, and we passed the ball well. And we're getting ready to play a team that's going to play man-to-man instead of zone, but we've got to carry that over and find a way to score on them. That'll be the biggest challenge.
Big game coming up on Sunday. Number 5, Tennessee comes to town. Lady Vols, ranked 5th in the country, as I noted. It's kind of the same every year. They're talented, and you have your hands full.
Always a big challenge against Tennessee, and I know our fans love to come out for the Tennessee game. It's one of the better teams that come into our arena year in and year out. And I think this Tennessee team, they are a little bit different than the last 2 years. They signed a great recruiting class a couple years ago. Those kids as freshmen struggled a little bit, lost their first round game, I think, in the SEC or in the NCAA tournament. And then last year got bumped out a little bit sooner than what they thought. But I think they're back to their old form. They got a veteran team. They're deep. They got 13 13, 14 All-Americans, half of them sitting on the bench that we'd probably love to have. But I think this is their year. I'd like to see them get back to the Final Four and represent the SEC, and certainly presents a great challenge for us. But as I've told our kids, as we look at the rest of our schedule, I look at it as opportunity. Some people feel like we're in that situation where we're in a must-win situation. I look at it like, what a great opportunity to go to LSU. What a great opportunity to be able to bring the Vols into our house, because if we could find a way to play great basketball for 40 minutes, which I don't think we've done quite that all year long, a great opportunity for us to stick another feather in our cap. So bring them on, and we'll see what happens.
We'll hope to see everybody out at that ball game. Coach, best of luck this week. Let's get some more W's.
All right, thanks.
For Tom Collen, I'm Blair Cartwright. We'll see you next week on Courtside.